Hello everybody, my name is Sady. Welcome back to episode 14 of Katawa Shoujo. We are back. I mean, I say we're back, but I shot literally the two previous episodes earlier today. As you can see by me wearing the same shirt as the two previous episodes. So without further ado, let's get into it. I am kind of curious now because I feel like we went over, like the the build up and stuff, and I feel like we're entering slowly into the climax, slowly. Um, so I really wanna know what happens. I wanna know. I wanna know. I wanna see the romance. I wanna see the kisses. I wanna see the love. I want to see the bursting passion in this relationship. So, sometimes the fucking, oh my god, okay. My pen buzzily scrolls onto a slowly filling page of my notebook. My other hand remains on the page of a reference book I borrowed from the library, marking my spot as my eyes flicker to and fro. As I work, I occasionally mark red circles or underlines onto the photocopied sheets of paper that lie on the table in front of me. Wanting a change of scenery from the library and to avoid the distractions of the classroom, I decided to make use of the Shanghai for some quiet study time. It ended up being nice and quiet as expected, and being able to get coffee while I study is a nice bonus. Hanako may have returned to her normal self since she came out of her room, but I've done quite the opposite. Daily routine may have returned to us, but I feel as if I'm a different person. Maybe I'm not. It's only been a few days, and after all, since I decided I wanted to try and get out of the route I'd found myself in after my accident. But I want to change, and I'm now actively working towards that goal. Or at least I would like to think that I am. Oh, this isn't possible. Brute forcing this isn't going to work. What's more, I have another piece of writing I have to do after this. I'm sure that's going to be no easier. I woke up in mild surprise to the source of the tentative voice. Yuko stands at the head of the table with a damp towel in hand, clearly having taken the opportunity to clean the tables while no other patrons were around. She looks curious, her eyes as much on my work as on me. What's the matter? I was just wondering, what sort of work are you having so much trouble with? Well, it's just history. I'm fine with science and math, but I'm trying to get my other subjects up to par. Yuko looks positively delighted at this development. I feel like I just chose the right answer on some big quiz show. Oh, I think I can help you with that. If you don't mind, of course. Briefly considered turning down the offer in order to not cause her too much trouble, but she looks too excited about this for me to do it. It would be mean to shoot her down like that after such a reaction. If you're willing to help, I'd really appreciate it. She claps her hands together and quickly deposits her towel on the counter before returning and taking a seat across from me. I take my notebook off the top of the textbook and hand it over for her to peruse. You're studying the Edo period? Yeah, I'm not really much good at this though. She takes the textbook and reads a few pages from a random section near the middle for a bit, but the aura of enthusiasm she'd been radiating previously is rapidly sapping away. I'm guessing this isn't the kind of history you were expecting. Unfortunately not. My main area is European history, especially in the classical era. Sorry. She looks a bit downcast, but she carefully closes the books and lays it back down on the table. Her face perks up again. Would you like another cup of coffee? Oh yeah, sure. I reach forward and get my book back as Yuko gets up, takes my mug, and slowly walks to the counter to make another brew. As usual, she's absolutely silent as she does this. Every ounce of her concentration is focused on not tripping over or dropping the plain white mug. I take the opportunity to lay back and relax for a bit, the of the coffee machine filling the otherwise quiet air. It's small details like that which make me realize how much I've come to appreciate the little things in life. The peace and quiet of the local town, the discipline and order of Yamaku, the green of the trees that were so rare in my home city, the relaxed pace at which the aging residents live their lives. Everything feels so certain, comforting. Can feel myself beginning to nod off when the sound of the mug coming to rest on the table grabs my attention. Seems like it arrived not a moment too soon. Yuko takes her previous seat once again as I pick myself up and bring a hand around the mug to check its temperature. It's just a little too hot to drink right away, so I blow on it a little. It's a shame you don't like history all that much. I sort of guessed you might be more into science. How so? We nearly read out the science fiction section of the library already. Wasn't hard to notice. You do have a good point there. Well, what can I say? You've pegged me just about right. Pegged me? I'm sorry. I am really sorry. This was cringe. I'm sorry. You sound like you really take an interest in history, though, especially considering how specific you're about it. You study in that area or something? Go on digs overseas? Overseas? She giggles nervously at the thought. I like to visit the Mediterranean. Oh my god. Mediterranean. Fucking. I live in a country where this sea is literally, like, right under it. Like, Mediterranean. Let's go. It's so much harder to say in English than in French. Mediterranean. Good God. Sometime and see the old architecture and art for myself, but I don't think I could trust myself to handle such delicate things. Saving up to formally study in university, although I also read up on it whenever I have free time outside of work. So Miki was right about her university aspirations, considering how she fares as a waitress. A more theoretical path may suit Yuko better. It's nice to hear that she has some ambitions though, considering how hard she works. I nod and take a careful sip of my coffee. By now it's cooled to the right temperature, so I begin to drink while keeping an eye on the book below, trying to read all at the same time. A few minutes pass quietly, Yuko looking out the window and watching the world go by while I have my coffee and study. A moment catches my eye, and I look up to see Yuko smiling and waving to someone outside. Following her gaze surprisingly revealed that someone to be Hanako. Oh, whoa! Yeah! My reaction was completely disproportionate. I jumped out of my seat when I heard Hanako, but every little... Now I'm practically playing this game only for Hanako's scenes, not gonna lie. I just want to see Hanako, and I want both of them to say, I love you. Me too. Of course, it's not gonna happen like that, but one can hope. Anyway, she's looking at us from the side of the street across from where we are. Her usually all-too-visible timidity is largely absent, probably thanks to there being so few people around right now. Evidently, she decides to join us, as after a little wave, she gives a quick glance up and down the street and crosses towards the side that the cafe is on. The familiar doorbell to the Shanghai rings out as Hanako enters and makes her way to the table we're sitting at. Hello. Good afternoon. Hi, Aniko. What's up? Nothing. Just going for a walk, since the weather was nice. Yeah, I get what you mean. I'm glad I decided to study here instead of the library. It's comfortable in here, thanks to that. Be better than the sometimes quite stuffy library. I like to Yuko, who nods in response. It's nice. It's just a shame that summer can't last forever. Oh wait, sorry, would you like a drink? Hanako shakes her head. Thankfully, it's enough to calm Yuko back down. How are you going with studying? Okay-ish. Oh yeah, have you talked with Lily? I'm interested too. How is she doing? She's enjoying it, I think. Wait, wasn't she going for like her aunt or grandma who was dying? How is she enjoying it? I think that's all we're going to get out of her. Being around Yuko is tensing her up. It would be so nice to travel to Scotland. Green fields, castles, lovely small towns, men in kilt. How do you pronounce this again? Kilts? Cults? Kilts? Kilts. I'm gonna say kilts. Interesting history. Can't say I see the appeal of men in kilts myself. It does seem like a picturesque place, though. As we talk, the jingle of the doorbell rings again. Hanko is startled, noticing Yuko's panicked expression at the prospect that she might leave customers to wait a handful of seconds due to her chatter with us. Yuko gives us a quick bow, then hastily skitters over and greets the new customer, an elderly man and his wife. I watched her for a bit, craning my head around to get a good view. Hanko is staring at me with her one visible eye. She averts her head in embarrassment as I turn to make eye contact. I was just thinking that it's nice to have ambitions for the future. Yuko was telling me a little about her university aspirations before. Oh, it's a shame. If she wasn't so neurotic and overworked, I think she could be a really happy person. As much as I'd like to play host to Hanako and entertain her a bit, I do need to study as well. To be honest, I don't think the distractions from Yuko helped either. Sorry if I'm a bit distracted, I need to try and get this done, otherwise I'm going to flunk the history exams pretty hard. I'm left running my hand through my hair in frustrations. That letter needs doing as well, once I get back to my dormitory room. I hope I have more luck with that than this, damn. What with? Oh, I was going to write to Iwanako right now, though this is more important. All I've done is rattle myself. I can't focus on the work in front of me when my stomach is slowly turning at the prospect, actually attempting to write her back, after all this time. Force myself to concentrate on the book, picking up my pen once I have a quick sip of coffee. After a few seconds, Hanako stops silently watching me and leans back in her seat, relaxing as much as she ever seems to be able to, looking out the window to pass the time. We stay like this for a long time before leaving for the dormitories together. I'm surprised she had the patience to wait me out. Iwanako's letter lies on my desk, besides a blank sheet of lined paper and an unused envelope. The tapping of my pen is the only thing to be heard this late at night. As I feared, my second task for the day turns out to be just as difficult as the first, if not harder. It's been so many months since we even saw each other. Even so, I can still remember what she looked like, what she sounded like, and what she acted like. By now, though, the little details are beginning to slip away. I first saw her letter, I barely recognized her handwriting at all. Even the pink pen she always used was forgotten until her writing reminded me of it. I wonder why she didn't use it for the letter. She used to write everything with it. Maybe she thinks it's too immature now. I should be thinking about myself and about what I want to communicate to her. My mind can't stop concentrating on her, though, on the past we shared before it was taken away so suddenly. The bright and slightly garish decorations suit her sense of aesthetics. Picking up the letter to take a closer look at it, I give a long sigh. This is the last link binding me to my past. Iwanako didn't suddenly cease to exist when she left my hospital room for the last time, but I needed this letter to remind me of that. I had all those feelings neatly filed away. I felt as if I didn't need them, that I could just begin life completely anew. It was easier that way. Yet I suppose that was a rather naive thing to think. Sooner or later, my past would have caught up with me, one way or the other. But what am I supposed to say to her? Thank you for bringing me closure? All the letter did was end the sense of closure I previously left. Try as I might, I can't write so much as a single word down on the paper in front of me. Can't even think of what exactly I want to say. Putting the letter down on top of the blank sheet, I gather the materials together and file them away in my drawer. The clunk at the desk makes as it closes makes me momentarily tense in frustration before I get up to go grab a drink from the vending machine on the first floor. Tried, but I couldn't do it. After all the time that's passed, I still don't know how to deal with Iwanako. Well, that's bad. That's bad. The library, while not humming with activity, is noticeably more busy than usual. Exams are not far away, and that's reflected in the number of students burying their noses in textbooks at the tables around us. I've been studying quite a lot in the past few days, just like them, in hopes of doing well in the exams. This also means that Hanako and I have been playing games less, so she's begun studying as well, just to fill in the time. Nevertheless, I found myself forsaken by her on this particular day. The textbook in front of me has remained on the same page for some time. After so much reading on subjects I couldn't care less about if not for the exams, my mind is beginning to wander. I found my eyes flicking over to where Hanako would usually be, just like on the days she wasn't in class. Her usual beanbag in the corner of the room is conspicuously unoccupied. It was here that we first really met. Tried to start a conversation with her, she got skittish and eventually bolted from the room altogether. I probably shouldn't smile about it, but it was kind of amusing in hindsight. Nowadays, it's more and more difficult to imagine her doing such a thing. Even with Lily gone, she's been doing well now that she's come out of her room. I want to talk with her, or at least play another game of chess. I'm tired of studying, and it's been a few days since we've really done anything together. Question of where to find Hanako isn't particularly difficult one. She's not in the library, chances are that she's either in the tea room for some peace and quiet, or in her dormitory room. Deciding to check them in that order, I pack up my books and make my way out of the library. Stretch and give a loud groan as I walk down the hallway. Studying may be frustrating at times, but with the progress I feel I've made, there is also some sense of pride in getting it done. It's a good feeling. There isn't a sound to be heard from inside as I stand in front of the door to Hanako's room. Guess this isn't very indicative of whether she's inside or not, given how quiet she usually is. Still, she wasn't in the tea room. Try knocking lightly to make my presence known, but I'm surprised when I find the door unlocked and yielding at my touch. Oh wow. A yellow. With a small creak, the door opens. Looks like my suspicions were correct. Hanako is indeed here. She's sitting at the table with an open book in front of her, but pays it no heed as she keeps looking out the window. She looks utterly oblivious to my presence. With her head thoughtfully resting on her hand, she looks calm and collected. It's a shame she can't look like this more often. Smiling a little, I walk up to the table and softly speak to her. Good evening, Hanako. Hanako's head turns a little to see me, but she's still only half there. Put a hand on the table and lower my head to better look at her face, mildly curious about what mood she's in. What's up? She gasps a little, finally acknowledging my presence in the room for the first time. Hanako's blushing really heavily. Her mouth is open just a little, as if posed mid-sentence. Most striking, though, is what she's doing. She's looking directly at me. Her eyes are pinned on my own from such a close distance that I can almost see my reflection in them. They don't turn away, nor move at all. They are absolutely still, just looking into mine. They're dark and give her an almost analytic air. Even when reading on subjects she has no interest in, she would appear to be wrapped in her work to a casual observer. She absorbs information very well, and even now I can feel that. I feel like I'm seeing something behind those eyes that I never saw before. I don't know what it is, though. Hanako? Her lips move just a little, silently mouthing something. She looks like she's on the verge of saying something, but won't say it. That's the way Hanako always is. On the verge of saying something, but never quite doing it. Look intently into her eyes. I realize something. Everyone has their own thoughts. Things they want to say, their own worldview. But I can't work out what Hanako wants to say. I can't work out what she's thinking. Never have been able to. It's frustrating. Feels like I don't know her at all, despite all the time we've spent together. Hey, Sao. So now I find myself blushing. I've been looking directly into Hanako's eyes from such a short distance with absolutely no regard for her, and she's been looking into mine without shirking away. I quickly look away while covering my face with my hand. Hanako does just the same. Another awkward silence reigns. I hate these. At first I accepted them as just being a fact of life around Hanako, but now all they feel like is an affirmation of how little we're able to communicate. Some anger makes its way in the complex mixture of emotions I'm experiencing right now. I want to bridge that gap between us. Friends shouldn't have to tiptoe around each other's like this. I speak before I can argue myself out of what I'm going to do. My scarring isn't as bad as Hanako's, and I constantly compare my life to hers, but I want to show her that she's not alone. Learning this in such a blunt manner might be the only way to get my point across. Hanako, I want to show you something. Take a deep breath to prepare myself. We're going to show you. I mean, you're. Okay, this could backfire badly, but I feel as if we've come close enough for this to be okay. I'm not going to strip naked or anything weird. I'm just going to take off my shirt. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but just that. That caught me off guard. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. So this isn't as funny as I should think it is. No, it's not as funny as I think it is. God damn it. Hanako's eyes grow the size of saucers. Her face is an amusing mixture of curiosity and nervousness as she stands. It helps takes the edge off my own nervousness at doing this in front of another person. Slowly, with my entire body feeling tense, I unknot my tie and begin to lose the first of the buttons, trying to mentally block out Aniko to make this easier, but it's not really working. As I work my way down, I expect to hear some form of protest from her. She remains silent, though, which just makes this feel even stranger. With the last of my shirt unbuttoned, I take a breath and look at her. Wow. Again, beautiful still. Anako's gaze is fixed on my scarring. As expected, and once I nod to say it's okay, she steps forward and tentatively places her hand on the vertical line running down my chest. Wow. Sorry, I'm just enjoying the moment of the romance blooming. I should stop. I should stop with that. The scarring on her hand, a pattern of damaged skin across its surface, contrasts with the single uniform line that makes up mine. Her hand isn't trembling at all, unlike what I predicted. This is the scar from the surgery that followed my heart attack. The surgeons had to cut open my chest to operate on my heart. I never knew. Hanako's words are calmer and softer than usual. The soft feeling of her fingers moving from my scar to my breast makes me hesitate a little before continuing on. And yeah, that little laugh sound was me reading breasts. I'm sorry, okay? I am young and immature. I'm sorry. You're the first person to see this since I left the hospital. The fuck is that goofy smile? Wow. But why are you showing this to me? I wanted to prove to myself that I could do this. I could accept my past and move on. I wanted to show that to you as well. She nods. From her reaction, she seems to know how difficult this is for me. More than anything, the scar represents a visible reminder of my condition. A reminder that I'm not normal anymore. That's something that, until now, I tried my hardest to ignore. As the minutes tick by, Hanako's gaze lingers. Her eyes look less focused on my scarring than before. The situation feels a bit different than it previously did, and makes me feel slightly uncomfortable. Her hand retreats, and I draw my shirt closed and begin to button it up. Her blushing face suddenly returns to his typical tense and timid state as she looks away. The room is completely silent as I fix my shirt and tie, feeling put off after such an unexpectedly intimate moment. So, I guess you're not the only one that's scarred. Wow, that was... Hey, you see? You're not the only one that's scarred, so stop acting like a little baby. Oh my god. That's... Hanako smiles a little at the joke, thankfully lightening the atmosphere a bit. Thank you, Isao. I think I understand. I got a long sigh of relief. I really didn't know how she'd take it, but I'm glad everything seems to have worked out as I hoped. Hanako's smile only proves that further. Finding the path I want to follow now, and what Hanako needs to do is to find her own. It's something I can't help her with, and it's something that she needs to overcome her past in order to do. Hanako checks her watch. It's getting late by now. Hey, so, yeah, I'd better get going. I'll be thankful for some sleep. It's been a long day after all. Good night, Hanako. Good night. Make my way out of her room and into the hallway, remaining silent as I do so. I think both of us have gone through a few emotions today. well. You sure have, I guess. City rendezvous? Holy shit, city rendezvous, city dates? Ooh, me likey. The heat of the summertime sun beats down on my sweating brow, dabbing with a handkerchief doesn't help too much in making me any more comfortable. Giving up on the idea of getting more done today, I stop and lean against one of the overpass fences, resting my bag on the ground. The stores in the town below Yamaku are well stocked and offer enough variety for me to get by. Also, I should maybe not put my phone so close to my... are well stocked and offer enough variety for me to get by, but at least an occasional shopping trip to the city is something that can't really be avoided. I've been here a few times now. The city's layout is getting more familiar and the nostalgia from its atmosphere is beginning to wear off. I realize that I've begun to wheeze. I sound like an old man that's overexerted himself, and having to connect that to the fact that I'm the source is a bit disturbing. Put a hand on my chest and concentrate for a bit to make sure I haven't gone far enough to cause any further problems. Thankfully, my heart is acting normally. There's no dull pain and the beating is regular, albeit fast-paced, as I recover from overdoing things in the kind of heat. I hate my body. It's frustrating to be held back, and even more to be held back by fear of my life being ended when doing something as simple as walking around the city for a while. I ponder on my health. I feel my pocket vibrating. By the time my phone's begun to ring, my hand is already fishing for it. A glance at the screen shows a caller number I don't recognize. Strange. Shrugging, I press the button to answer the call and bring the phone to my ear. Hello, Isao and Akai speaking. The sound of a couple short breaths can be heard, but no actual speech is forthcoming. Hello? Isao? It's Hanako. Her voice is really easy to place, even if I've never heard it over phone before. Hanako? Sorry, I wasn't expecting you to call. What's up? If you're not busy, I was wondering if you would like to meet up? Yes, she sounds really wound up about this. I can hear muffled voices in the background, and it's about time for the afternoon tea, so I guess she'll want me to meet her at the Shanghai or something. That sounds fine. Are you at the Shanghai? I'm in the city. Hanako's here? Alone? That's a surprise. It's no wonder she's like this. She's surrounded by people and entirely by herself. That all works out well. I'm just wandering around there now. Where are you? Hanako manages to stammer out the street name, address, and some basic directions to where she is. Luckily it's not too far, so I agree to see her soon before hanging up. Look up to the sky. The summer heat is beating down. First time Hanako's asked for us to do something together beyond a simple board game. The first time, at least since I've known her, that she's come to the city by herself. Maybe this means that Lee was right. Told you. I told you she was right. I told you. By the time I managed to stagger up to the cafe where Hanako is, I started to wheeze again. I'm sweating so much that I feel like a melting popsicle and can barely hold the bag in my hand. I need to sit down, badly. The tables outside are occupied by busily chatting couples and girls gossiping between themselves. The contrast between the different age groups and fashions of the people here and the people from the town near Yamaku is striking. I scan over the people sitting at the table, but I can't see Hanako. She did say she was sitting outside, so I must just be missing her. Not difficult given how much she usually tries to make her presence. What? She usually tries to make her presence? What the fuck does that mean? I look around again, more slowly this time, taking particular care to see if I can find Hanako's hat. She's instinctive, and I'd be very surprised if she wasn't wearing it. There she is. Sure enough, her head is kept low at the table she's sitting at is right beside the building, in an inconspicuous corner. Walk up to where she is and make sure that I have her attention before I sit, lest I give her a scare. She notices me and gives a small wave as I arrive at her table. Are you feeling okay? I try my best to laugh it off, but doing so just makes me more out of breath. Not very feet these days. Don't mind me. Hanako nods, but still looks a bit put off. Now that I can get a good look at her face, something about her seems a bit different. I'm not sure if my eyes are playing tricks on me, but she looks kind of nice. Her eyes move upwards to look at me, before quickly flicking down again. Begin to think this is going to be a rather quiet meeting, but a waitress thankfully arrives and set down a cup of tea in front of Hanako. Hanako almost automatically turns slightly away and lowers the side of her head. It's an amazingly practiced motion, and does a good job of its intended purpose, hiding her scars from someone who's leaning in close. Her right arm is still laying on the table, though, with the scarring on the back of her hand quite visible. Catches the waitress's eye, and I move to quickly distract her. Excuse me, may I place an order? The waitress nods and gives me a couple of seconds to look at the menu. Can I have a mango smoothie, please? She gives a nod before almost enthusiastically bouncing inside. Everything is so different in this city in more ways than one. Hanako looks back up towards me and adjusts her hat a little. If she noticed the waitress staring at her scars, she doesn't show it. Wait, what? If she noticed, she doesn't show it? I'm having trouble understanding, like, the fucking grammar of these sentences. If she noticed the waitress staring at her scars, she doesn't show it. What? That's past, that's present. What? Not coffee? I think I'd die from this heat if I had something like coffee right now. Resting my head in my hand, I look to my quiet companion. She seems taken aback. Very unexpected reaction to my lame joke. An unwelcome emotion bubbles up inside me as I realize her reason why. Unlike most in Yamaku, indeed, unlike anyone there that I'm aware of, my condition goes beyond limiting the activities I can do. Or, to be more precise, breaching those limits could have much more grave consequences. Thankfully, it's something that's very rarely come up since I entered Yamaku. I thought that it was so rare that Hanako and Lily might not think of it at all. Turns out I was wrong. Hanako suddenly drinks her tea while I wait for my drink, confirming that it's the right temperature with a small sip before she begins in earnest. I feel guilty for being the cause of an uncomfortable silence, since in the past I've been kind of hard on Hanako for those. Yep. Eventually, the same waitress as before bounces up, handing me my drink. I gather change from my pocket and drops it into her waiting hand before she goes off to attend to another customer. My eyes linger on her as she walks away. I think that she looks pretty. Hanako is following my gaze, her eyes taking in the waitress that served us. I can feel my blood slowly going to my cheeks as I rest my smoothie back on the table. Nah, I can't really say that I'm really into that look. She just looked a lot like an old friend I knew before my heart attack. Did you have many friends? I had a few at my previous school, though I wouldn't say a lot. The four of us just hung around together after school and stuff. Do you still talk to them? I shake my head. No, we got lost contact while I was struck in the hospital. You're not saddened by that? Or angry? Or angry? Hanako looks generally surprised. I guess it's the right reaction. Well, life did move on for them while I was stuck in the ward. I was pretty sore about it at the time, but now it's just a bunch of nice memories. Besides, once I came to Yamaku, I found new friends as well. That's quite a whitewash of what my feelings were back then. I went through some dark times during my stay at the hospital, and I really am glad that Hanako and Lily were around to help me after I left it. Hanako blushes as we both get down to enjoying our drinks. She seems to have calmed down since I arrived, and I've started to feel a little better. Now that I've had the chance to rest a bit, so this is getting to be a nice outing already. Oh, okay. In this one I understood the grammar. Even if she's calmer than before, though, she's still fidgeting a bit. She runs her hand down one of her bangs as I try to think of something to say. That's right, I was going to ask. Hanako tilts her head quizzically. I didn't know you had a mobile phone. How'd you get my number? Lily gave it to me. I should have guessed. You know, you could have just asked. I'd have given it to you. Want to exchange email addresses? Hanako nods, setting down her drink and fishing out her phone from her pocket as I do the same. It's surprisingly the same model as mine. Pink, though. Nice phone. She looks to me with a curious expression before noticing my phone and giggling. It's one of the very few times I've seen Hanako let her guard down enough to do such a thing. I didn't pick it up myself, though. Oh? It was a present from Lily. I really needed a phone, and I couldn't afford one. She bought me one for Christmas, though, saying that we could use it to keep in touch. They see each other basically every day anyway, both in and out of school. Then again, Lily does have her class representative duties and other friends that she talks with. It'd probably help for situations like this too, when she's gone away for a while. Lily's a very special person to you, isn't she? She is. Love her very much. Hanako looks down and smiles as she thinks of her. None of my friendships were as deep as theirs. I have to admit to myself that I'm a little jealous of their relationship. We tell each other our email addresses and thumb them into our respective phones, and I get Hanako's number from earlier and put it into my contacts list. Done. That makes 3 now. 3? No, wait, no. Done. That makes 3 now. 3? Lily, Akira, and you. Ah, Akira. She's an interesting person, isn't she? She is. She's also really nice, though. Her suit makes her look a bit cool. Well, it'll surprise you know each other well. What with her job taking up so much of her time? Hanako looks down a little and takes another sip of her drink. If I wasn't looking intently at her face, I'd miss the small smile perched on it. Guess when she knows so few people, those she knows must mean a lot to her. How many do you have? Me? About 9 or 10. I hesitate to go into them for fear of rubbing in the fact that Hanako doesn't have parents, or apparently even close relatives. Two of those are Chizune and Misha too, which is another can of worms. I imagine that Lily would have more than both of us put together, probably. Hanako gives a childish giggle, and I can't help smiling. It's a good feeling that she's gotten this comfortable around me. At times like this, I feel like I'm getting close to talking to her true self. Do you mind if I ask something that I've been wondering? Hanako shakes her head as she takes the last sip of her tea, finishing it off. You seem very jealous of Lily having lots of friends. Don't you want to make some more friends yourself, or get to know some of hers? I'm not jealous. I don't like people, so I don't mind not having many friends. Well, that's at least straightforward, you know? That's really not the answer that I was expecting either, so don't worry. She doesn't look fearful or sad as she says this, but rather quite serious. I Hanako rubs her arm awkwardly, having taken my quietness as a reason to continue. Not really sure what I should say, so I end up simply giving her my attention in silence. In middle school, I got bullied. A lot. I was called names and got excluded from work groups and sports team. There were worse things, too. That's what made you not like other people? She shakes her head. That was elementary school. Wow. Holy shit. That is poor Hanako, man. Jeez. I feel bad for bringing this up now. Adults have enough problems dealing with Hanako scaring. Children would be all the worse. I'd assumed that the way she tried to make her presence not felt was just to avoid people staring at her, or because she was afraid of them. Certainly not because she genuinely didn't want to interact with them in the first place as well. I noticed the condensation from my neglected smoothie forming in a little puddle around the bottom of the cup, so I take the opportunity to finish it off. As I drink, she begins to fiddle with her phone. It looks like she's remembered the people around her again and begun to tense up. It isn't exactly a cheap phone. I had to save up for quite a while to afford one when I got mine. If Lily went to a private school, she probably wouldn't have too much trouble getting one for a present, though. Watching her fiddle with it gives me an idea. Hey, Hanako, wait for me, I'll be right back. I put the now empty cup down, slip my phone into my pocket, and begin to move off, carefully stepping around the bag I placed beside my feet. Thankfully, sitting around while talking to Hanako has helped me feel a lot better than before. Wait, what? Where are you going? Just stay here. I'll be back in a bit. As much as I'd have liked to have jogged back, I know full well that I couldn't. I ended up walking back to the cafe, a blue bag in my right hand. Hanako notices me quickly, looking about as confused as she did when I left. I deposit the diminutive bag in front of her and sit back down. It's for you. You can open it. But, go on. She looks very unsure about it, but eventually gives in, slowly opens the bag, and picks its content out. A silver chain phone strap dangles from her fingers, ending in a delicate flower. It isn't exactly a masterwork of jewelry, but it's about as much as I could afford. Hanako's eyes light up when she looks at it. It's the kind of reaction I was hoping for. The summer sun's light glints off the silver as it twists to and fro a little. It's not too ostentatious, but still looks a little charming. I think it suits her well. Hanako lowers the phone strap to the table and looks to me once more. But it's not Christmas or my birthday. It's fine, don't worry about it. I just thought it might be nice to have something to decorate your phone with. I don't have anything to give you. I told you it's fine. Friends can give things to each other like this sometimes, right? Friends. Hanako lowers her face so much that I can't see her expression. She eventually nods before taking her phone and fiddling with the strap to attach it properly. She looks to me and smiles as she holds up her phone, now adorned with a little flower. Thank you, Asao. Her smile proves infectious. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice a couple getting up and leaving. It reminds me that the bus back to the town below Yamaku will be coming soon. I guess I'd better be going if I want to catch the next bus back to town. You coming as well? Yes. She hastily nods before carefully putting her phone back into her pocket and getting out of her chair. I do the same and pick up the bag I left beside me on the way out. We walk side by side as we make our way to the bus station. Changing no words between us, Hanako's gaze is firmly locked ahead of her, though she looks very happy with herself. Not sure what I should say to her, but I'm also not sure that I need to say anything. The fact that Hanako is happy and happy because of me is enough to make the load on my arm feel light as a feather. Whispered touch. Interesting. We don't have much time left, but we will start this new scene. Finally reaching the classroom after the usual walk from the dormitories, I step inside. My eyes immediately turn to the third seat from the left in the back row, Haneko's seat. It's empty, and after glancing around the classroom, it looks like she isn't here yet. Two girls from the newspaper club are here in the two seats to the left of Haneko's. As her, she's named Misha, but that's about it. We exchange morning greetings before I take my seat. I have to admit that this is a bit of a relief. This gives me at least a few more minutes to think. Not that I haven't been doing so previously. Even since our trip to town, Haneko's been on my mind. So I don't know what to make of my relationship to Hanako. I like her, I can admit that much to myself. I want to protect and shield her from the pain she feels. I really don't think my feelings are just those of friendship anymore. Yes. But that said, I feel like I don't even know her. If I made a move on her, how would she take it? Is she in an emotional state that allows her to make a reasonable decision about a relationship? How would she cope with anything that might happen afterwards? There's also the possibility that I'm just completely misinterpreting Hanako, a difficult thing to do with someone whose social skills seem to be so underdeveloped. The sound of footsteps comes up to the door, making me perk up. So ends up just being Mickey. It's just a girl. It's just Mickey. Don't worry about it. She barely acknowledges my existence when I accidentally make eye contact with her. About to look away, but another person comes in not long after she takes her seat. Yes! I feel myself freeze as I see Aniko enter. This isn't a rational reaction, but I have no idea how I should act or what I should say to her. For a moment, our eyes meet. And then just as quickly, she looks away and moves to her seat without saying a single word. As is now usual for the period following classes, my face is buried deep in a book that I find thoroughly uninteresting. Okay, studying is not something that comes naturally to me. I didn't study a lot before coming to Yamaku, and until now I've largely managed to coast through on talent alone. It's frustrating that I can't do that anymore. Judging by the faces of the other few students in the library, I don't think I'm alone in my distaste for this. Misery loves company, I suppose. I decided to spend lunchtime with Hanako, since we haven't had lunch together for a while now. May as well have spent the time studying, though. Aside from pathetically small snippets of small talk, there was barely a word said between us. Why does she keep doing this to me? I just want to protect her, to be there for her, but every time I feel like we're coming closer, we end up further away. Are you busy? Hanako? My head whips around in surprise, causing her to retreat in fright. That was bad timing. If I hadn't been thinking about her at the very moment, I probably wouldn't have been nearly so startled. Sorry, you just startled me. I find myself staring at her longer than I should, so I go back to the text lying on the table in front of me. I feel more like I'm just staring at the words rather than actually reading. I get the feeling Hanako can notice this as well, so I sigh and close the book. What's up? I was just wondering what you were reading. She looks a little downcast after my reaction to seeing her. Giving up on the prospect of getting any more work done, I get up and return the book to its place on a nearby shelf. Just an English textbook. Has it helped? I hadn't realized that I don't like English yet. Hanako gives a small giggle. I may muse on the strange state of our friendship, but I do know that such little gestures are things that I wouldn't see were I not at least some distance closer to her than when we first met. I look at her for a moment, thinking about what I do and don't know about her. It's a slightly depressing topic. Is something wrong? If I want to know more about her, maybe I should stop being so evasive about it. Talking with Lily as an equal rather than being constantly in fear of causing her to become upset worked fine, so I should just try a straightforward approach with Hanako as well. Hey, Hanako, do you mind if I ask you a question? I don't mind. I want to know what your life was like. Your life before coming to Yamaku. She hesitates. I briefly consider backing off, but she seems to be taking the question quite seriously. I sit and watch her, silently letting her take her time. She's not making eye contact with me, and looks almost as if she's arguing with herself into letting herself open up to me more. Her answer finally comes in a stiff, almost reluctant nod. She looks far more tense than she did before I'd asked. Okay, but in return you have to tell me about your life as well. I nod and follow her as she begins to walk out the library so we can talk. By now, most of the students have already left the main building, so apart from a few people hovering around club rooms, the hallways are largely empty. I guess I'll start with coming to Yamaku. Let's see, I was in the hospital when my parents first told me about Yamaku Academy. Doctors told me I shouldn't go to my old school anymore. My parents agreed and persuaded me to apply for Yamaku, even though it would mean living away from them for the first time. It must have been hard for you. Well, yeah, I have to admit that it was. My parents both worked long hours and full time, so having to live reasonably independently wasn't anything new to me. It was the fact that I was going to school for disabled students that hit the hardest, I think. And you? A small group of chatting girls passes us as we near the stair, with Hanako pressing herself tightly to my side until we reach the ground floor. She doesn't usually come this close while just walking to school, so I'm left a little put off. The staff at the orphanage offered me some options on what I could do. Middle school hadn't been good, so I thought that Yamaku might be better. It was isolated, and I thought it might be easier to get by here, with most of the others being disabled. It's pretty ironic that the reasons Hanako looked forward to Yamaku are the exact reason I hated the idea. To me, it felt like I was being shunted somewhere away from society and everyone I knew. To Hanako, that was really an inviting prospect. What was life like at the orphanage? It was okay. The staff there were nice, and they took care of us. Children there didn't talk to me much, but I didn't really want to talk with them either, so I didn't mind. The orphanage had a little library, so I started to read to pass the time. The staff didn't mind it, because it made me easier to handle than many of the other children. Didn't make any friends here? No, I think my life was on hold during that time. I knew that, but I didn't mind. To think her life was on hold for all that time, though. Depending on when the fire happened, that was a huge chunk of her life. No parents, no friends, apparently no relatives. We walked through the door into the courtyard. I expect to need to avert my eyes from the sun, but by now it's well into sunset. Hanako's eyes keep flicking to me, so I look away from her for a bit. What was it like in the hospital? Quickly clear my thoughts and try to focus them. Hesitate for a bit, but I know that I have to tell her. We're close enough for her to feel comfortable telling me this, so it's only fair that I reciprocate. It was okay at times, but at others it was pretty bad. At the beginning, everyone sent their sympathies and came to visit often. It was just like breaking an arm or something. Meeting all my friends was one of the good times. Iwanako came in often as well, more often than anyone else. There were bad times too. When my friends slowly stopped visiting, I began to realize how grave my situation was. It reminded me that this wasn't just a broken limb, but that I was now a different person than before. Even the times Iwanako would spend with me became torturous. By the end, we were reduced to silence, whereas before she'd be talking constantly. But that's how Iwanako always was. She may have been a fragile person, but she would talk constantly to try and hide that fact. Not about anything in particular, just talk. I think the three lowest points would have been when my parents told me I wouldn't be going to my old school anymore, my birthday passing on in the hospital, and when Iwanako left for the last time. We leave the school buildings behind us as we begin to follow the main path through the gardens. There may have been the odd bystander in the school buildings, but outside we're practically alone. What was your middle school like? I liked it. I grew up in a really metropolitan area, and the middle school was nearby, so it was really pretty crowded. I didn't mind it, probably because I'm used to being in the crowds and around lots of other people. I got good grades, and I played soccer with my friends. I spent a fair bit of time hanging out with them after school as well. Did get teased a bit over my hair, though. Your hair? I grimace a little as I put a hand over my hair to cover it. I keep getting tufts and strands that refuse to flatten or stay where I wanted them. My mother wouldn't let me just get my hair shaved. It had a habit of popping out, no matter how much I tried to brush it down. It still does, a little. I was worried I'd get that reply. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I give a mild laugh and wave it off. It's fine, I know it still does. It feels strange to have someone act so interested in my past. If it were anyone else, I think they were just acting polite, but that's something I really don't think Hanako would do. Or if she did, she'd do it so badly that it would be obvious. There are a number of girls in the common room on the ground floor, and Hanako presses herself to my side once more as we pass them. I expect her to break off, but instead she continues to cling onto me as we walk towards the stairway. Something about the way she's holding onto me feels different from the usual. I'm left deep in thoughts as we walk up the stairs and down the hallway. It's only when we stop that I look up and realize that I've been following her without question. Why did we come to your dormitory room? She looks straight at the door without so much as a glance in my direction. Hanako? She moves to answer but stops herself. Instead, she silently breaks from my side, opens her door, and steps inside. I look up and down the hallway, a bit lost as to exactly what I should do. Shrugging, I decide to follow her since I don't have any reason to do otherwise. Hanako stands in the middle of her room and looks straight at me. So nerving when she does this. This is such an unusual action for her. I open my mouth to speak, but she preempts me. And that's where that's where we are going to... Yeah, get that, guys. Boom! A cliffhanger. Okay. So definitely, I hope that I'm gonna have to shoot another episode, man, because I'm starting to get, very like impatient to see what's gonna happen next. Whispered touch. Holy shit. Okay. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you want, I guess. Whatever. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next episode. Kudos.